Last time on Shadow Piece, the battle between the Sin of Lust and the Titanic Captain of Beauty concluded. After all kinds of developments, two people died in this confrontation, and in a way, a new individual was born. While Cavendish was still unconscious, his subordinate Suleiman sacrificed his own life to save his captain, and the Pirate Prince is yet to learn about this fact. Having returned from the other realm, Cavendish and Hakuba combined into a singular personality, as the demon was always just a coping mechanism for the blonde sword fighter to forget about a traumatic event in his past. But with this new accepted personality, Cavendish dominated the next round against Katarina Devon, until he finally used her own attack against her to eradicate her from existence. Now, where is Suleiman? Looking at the developments on the rest of the island, we really gotta leave now. The pirate captain's conclusion was correct. The dark clouds, or rather clouds of darkness gathering over the island, were a sign of what was to come. However, as spectators, we will take a step back, as elsewhere on this island, at the same time as Cavendish's battle started, another confrontation began. 4 pirates stood in front of each other while another was running away. And your brother is running away from a fight yet again. A tall tan woman stared down to her chubby crewmate. She didn't really mean any offense with it, she was simply stating a fact, as she had seen this person escape from many training sessions with her older brother.
No, this time it's different. I have accepted that Caribou wasn't the most honorable person in the past, but now he is wholeheartedly attempting to help our family, even if it is simply to rise in the ranks.
From the Big Mom Pirates, Bloody Ocean Koribu, and the Sweet Commander's movie. And the people standing in their way were 2 of the Titanic captains. The heavy drinker, Vasco Schott, was casually drinking, laughing at the whole situation, not taking anything seriously. And towering above them all was the man also known as the Colossal Battleship, San Juan Wolf. Just looking at this matchup, anyone would bet on the Blackbeard Pirates, 2 of the most feared criminals in the world, against a sweet commander that barely left her home island, and also some random rookie that had not even survived a year in the New World yet.
Tapu 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 tapu. Wolf, keep the woman in one piece. I want to use her later.
The giant slowly nodded as he rapidly brought down his fist on the pair of invaders. His massive arm covered the sun completely for them, and the fist zooming towards them was basically as big as a house on their home island. But neither of them was showing any signs of fear. Koribu started covering his shovel with and haki, and stood in front of Smoothie. One would think with all the training he did, he would have at least lost some weight, but he actually got even chunkier. So when he jumped up to directly engage with the fist, the ground cracked below him. A loud thud filled the area as the shovel and the fist collided, blasting Koribu into the crater he had just created, and making San Juan Wolf stumble backwards. Just as Smoothie wanted to check on her fight partner, a surge of fire approached her. Human mixer! Twisting juices out of her body, she shrank down a bit in size as a vortex of liquid surrounded herself. As she drowned the fire out, Koribu got back on his feet. He wasn't injured and his eyes were filled with determination. For Vasco Schott and San Juan Wolf, the twisting and spinning ground made it hard to find proper footing. The Bloody Ocean, on the other hand, used the movement to speed himself up. The drunk Titanic captain took another huge gulp of alcohol before covering his arms with a dark liquid. Neither Smoothie nor Caribou recognized it, but when it got ignited and turned into black flames surrounding Vasco Schott's arms, the sweet commander felt an odd chill go down her spine. Pitch black flames, an occurrence thought to be feared to every child, and the kid of a Yonko was no exception. But this was a battle, and she had to stay calm just like Koribu, who was already in close combat range. His haki flourished and enveloped his shovel once more, before he launched it at Vasco Schott. With a flick of his arm, sparks of the black flames traveled to his chest and blocked the attack. While at first it was an active action from the Titanic captain, it quickly changed to the flame acting more independent, flickering towards Koribu, and before he could bring his shovel back to guard himself, the fire seared across his cheek. It burned and burned, going through his flesh and reaching his bones, before Smoothie could put it out with a liquid. The slow but destructive San Juan Wolf kept the 2 Big Mom Pirates always on their toes, and the different fire attacks from Vasco Schott came after them just as they dodged the giant. However, as they continued to evade techniques, they also didn't miss opportunities to attack. Wolf took them all without any guard. Wounds started stacking up on his body, but his sheer size made all the damage negligible. Vasco Schott, on the other hand, was still completely unharmed. His fire had protected him from every shovel and juice attack. The thing the two Titanic captains didn't realize was the duo technique that Smoothie could only do because she was now partnered up with Koribu. Since he was young, he got bullied for sweating a lot, something that was completely out of his own control, but now that feature that made people think of him as disgusting and creepy got accepted by a beautiful woman. And not only accepted, she loved it. And her devil fruit power was a perfect match for that as well. The more Koribu released sweat, the more she could absorb the juice to grow in size and use it for more powerful attacks. With the ever-increasing heat because of the fire, the rate of sweat increased as well, and Smoothie continued to grow in height. Normally the Sweet Commander stood at around 4 meters, keeping at least 60 centimeters of extra juice in her all the time. But in this moment, she was already comparable to a giant with a height of 22 meters. And yet, that wasn't even close to what she wanted to achieve to take out San Juan Wolf. "Koribu, you need to give me more juices, or I won't be able to do this." The super rookie simply nodded, but he knew that his own sweat wouldn't be enough, so he had to go all out and leave it all to his trusted comrade afterwards. He wasn't capable of using Future Sight, unlike another member of his crew, so predicting where the giant's punches would rain down and where the fire would burn towards took a lot of effort, but he still managed to do it. Swift movements unbefitting for his body, as he got closer and closer to the two Titanic captains. Vasco's shot fired off another huge fireball. However, this time Koribu slid on the wet ground, barely dodging the attack. Then he concentrated even more of his haki into his weapon, before going for the attack. While the black flames continued to protect the Blackbeard pirates, this was the first time in the battle that Koribu overpowered his opponent and managed to smack his shovel into their face. The damage on a drunk fighter was not the focus, even though it still mattered. He was always meant to be nothing more but a launch pad for the actual plan. Shooting through the air, the bloody ocean reached the spot he aimed for, the polypdial fossa of San Juan Wolf, better known as the soft area at the back of the knee, where the polypdial artery is located. Considering that the giant was 180 meters tall, his knee was also 12 meters thick, so penetrating through it proved to be impossible in the moment, and Wolf quickly stitched up the wound back with haki. It was barely open for 5 seconds, but a wound in such a place was incredibly bad. To be precise, 20,000 liters of blood flooded over Koribu, Vasco Shot, Smoothie, and the ground. Almost like a massive wave, they got pushed around until the blood slowly disappeared, as it was being absorbed by Charlotte's Smoothie. Not only was this giant blood, but also the blood of a giant that consumed a gigantification devil fruit. Juicy giant! Her size rapidly increased until she reached 140 meters. She was still 40 meters smaller than San Juan Wolf, but now they were on a more equal playing field. 2 gigantic creatures and 2 sweaty fighters. This battle was just beginning. So, I hope you look forward to the future parts of this battle as well. Yep, we are now looking at the pair of Koribu and Smoothie. I mean, yes, Vasco Shot and San Juan Wolf as well, but our protagonists for this fight are Koribu and Smoothie. So, I hope you will enjoy this fight just as much as the previous ones before. And yes, there are still secrets in Cavendish's backstory as well. Maybe they will be answered in some sort of story in the future. But for now, that's all from me for today. All that's to be said is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Pyro, out. Bye!